Buenos dias. Today we're going to learn about Mexico. Mexico is located on the continent of North America. This country has mountains, deserts, rainforests, and the people that live there speak Spanish. Some of the words that they say are gracias, hola, buenos dias, como está. Try some with your family at home. Some of the animals that live in Mexico are jaguars, whales, iguanas, and colorful birds like parrots. There was a battle called Cinco de Mayo, which translates to the 5th of May. In this battle, French troops tried to take over Mexico, but the Mexican soldiers, even though they were outnumbered, fought back. And by the evening, the French troops had retreated. Cinco de Mayo is celebrated mostly in the United States, but they celebrate with parades, carnivals, street fairs, and sometimes fireworks. People dress in traditional clothing and dance along to mariachi music. Ooh, food, chocolate, chilies, and corn all originated from Mexico. It's said that the Aztecs considered hot chocolate a sacred drink. Typical food that would be served were tamales, which are boiled pockets of corn dough stuffed with meat and served in banana leaves, mole, a spicy sauce served over meat, tacos, and enchiladas. Speaking of food, there's a still life painted by the artist Frida Kahlo. She was from Mexico, and she created many still lifes. A still life is a grouping of inanimate objects, except for the parrot that she snuck in there. In this still life, she has painted fruit that we can find in Mexico, like mangoes, oranges, and watermelons. She overlaps her fruit to create an interesting composition. Today we will create our own still life using salt dough that we made earlier, or we could just do a paper drawing or paper cutout. The choice is yours. If you choose to do the salt dough, make sure you watch the salt dough video, make some, and then come back and join me. If you are setting up your own still life display, find some fruits and vegetables that you have in your kitchen and start playing around with the arrangement, trying to get some overlapping in your shapes and your fruits. Those look too big over there. And I did find a mango in the back. When you have an interesting setup, you're all ready to get to work. Heidi ho, guys! We are going to make a still life of our fruit display. You can use the one that you set up. You can make one up in your head, or you can even use Frida Kahlo's as your inspiration. You're going to need some glue, scissors, pencil. Grab yourself like a thin piece of cardboard. I just used a cereal box, some construction paper, a toothpick if you're using salt dough, and I did a video previously on this. If you want to paint the salt dough, you're going to need your paint, your brushes, and some water and a little napkin to dry your brush off. And then I have some pieces of construction paper and crayons and markers, however you're going to color your artwork. So I'm going to start out with this. This is going to just be a little sturdy surface for my table. I'm going to have to decide which piece I want to be the table and which will be the background. I think I'll have the blue one be the table, so I'll just go ahead and trace this. So the green's going to be the background. We'll cut this out. And now I'm going to glue this down. Just put some around the edges. Give it the massage. And now I need to get my table. Like I said, blue will be my table. So I'll have to decide how much table I want to show. I'll trace. And then I'll cut that out. All right, now we're going to go ahead and glue the table down. So that's part's done. The background is done. If you want, you can go ahead and use your crayons to add some sort of patterns to your background or to your tablecloth. Like if you wanted to have a striped tablecloth, you could do that. I'll just do the tablecloth because now I'm just ready to get started on my fruit. Now your fruit, you can use construction paper. If you cannot make this salt dough, or you don't have Model Magic or air dry clay, you can just go ahead and use construction paper. If I was to make a watermelon, I'd start out with a U, and then I'd fold it in, or go on top like that. Cut this out. Then I would grab my green for the watermelon rind, and I know that it will come out a little bit, so I'll just hold the paper in place there. Oops, I got a little bit bigger, but that's okay because look, I can just slide that right over. And then I can glue those two together. I can go ahead and add my watermelon seeds and whatnot. Now, if you did go ahead and make your salt dough, you want to get that ready. I'm just going to use this as a placemat for myself. And we're going to think about some fruits. Like say I wanted to do a pear. I'm just going to kind of get this in an teardrop shape. Did you see how I rolled that in my hands to get it a little bit pointed on the top? And then I can flatten it a little bit. I don't want it too rounded. And then I can go ahead and roll a coil for the stem. My clay is pretty wet, so I'm just not going to need to go ahead and score and slip it like I do with my regular clay. So I could do the pear. If I wanted to do a lemon, I know lemons are a little bit pointed at both sides. So I'll just kind of point those out. I could do an apple, get myself a round piece of clay. Do you see how I'm rolling it in my palm? Give it a little smush down. Go ahead and get another little coil. I know I'm moving fast, so you can always pause. And I can even add leaves to these items as well. When you feel like you have enough fruit, you can always store your clay for later. We can go ahead and paint it. And maybe I just want to go ahead and set this up first. So go ahead and think about your arrangement. What's going to overlap? What will go in front? What's going to go towards the bottom? So I'm going to grab this pear. Let's see, maybe I want the pear right there. My lemon, maybe I just want the lemon off to the side. And my apple, I might just put it up here. So I have my pear overlapping my watermelon. Maybe I want it a little closer. I can have those two overlap a little bit. I think I like that setup better. Now I'm going to get my water. I have my paint and my paintbrush. If I was going to do my apple, maybe I want to do this red. Do you need to do your apple red? No, we know that we have yellow apples, orange apples. I can even add a little yellow in there if I wanted, just to blend it a little bit. Now, if you don't have paint, you can let this salt dough dry a little bit. And use some markers on it. For my pear, I think I'm going to start with yellow, even though I know I'm going to do my lemon yellow, because I want to mix this darker green on it, and that will lighten it up. Nice lime, and I'll use some rounded brush strokes there. I'm just kind of painting this lightly so I don't put holes in my salt dough. Make sure you dry your brush if you are painting. There you go. Then I would just let this dry for a few days. Hope you enjoyed.